Hello friends, this is Jennifer Bateman back again for another story time with Rappahannock Area Community Services Board Prevention Services. Today, we're going to read The Three Bears. Once upon a time, there were three bears who lived together in a house of their own in the woods. One of them was a wee little bear, one of them was a middle-sized bear, and one of them was a great big bear. And they each had a bowl for their porridge. One of them was a wee little bowl for the wee little bear, a middle-sized bowl for the middle-sized bear, and a great big bowl for the great big bear. And they each had a chair to sit in, a wee little chair for the wee little bear, a middle-sized chair for the middle-sized bear, and a great big chair for the great big bear. And they each had a bed to sleep in, and a wee little bed for the wee little bear, and a middle-sized bed for the middle-sized bear, and the great big bed for the great big bear. And one morning the three bears made porridge for breakfast and poured it into their bowls, but it was too hot to eat, so they decided to go for a walk in the woods until it had cooled down. And while the three bears were walking, a little girl named Goldilocks came to their house. And first she looked in at the window, and then she peeked through the keyhole. And of course there was nobody inside, so Goldilocks turned the handle of the door. The door was not locked, because the three bears were trusting bears, and they did no one any harm and never thought anyone would harm them. So Goldilocks opened the door and went right in. There was porridge on the table. It smelled so very good. Goldilocks didn't stop to think whose porridge it was. She went straight to it. First, she tasted the porridge of the great big bear, but it was too hot. Whoo! And then she tasted the porridge of the middle-sized bear, but it was too cold. Whoo! And then she tasted the porridge of the wee little bear. It was neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. And Goldilocks liked it so much that she ate it all up. And then Goldilocks went into the parlor to see what else she could find. Am I missing a page? Again, I am missing a page. Smokey Joe's going to help me read. There were three chairs in the parlor, and first she sat down in the chair of the great big bear, but it was too hard. And then she sat down in the chair of the middle-sized bear, but it was too soft. And then she sat down in the chair of the wee little bear, and it was neither too soft nor too hard, but just right. And so she rocked back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until the bottom of the chair fell out, and she went plump down onto the floor. She broke the chair. And Goldilocks went into the bedroom where the three bears slept. First she lay down on the bed of the great big bear, but it was too high at the head for her. And then she lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear, but it was too high at the foot for her. And then she lay down upon the bed of the wee little bear, and it was neither too high at the head nor too high at the foot, but just right. And Goldilocks liked it so much that she covered herself up and fell fast asleep. And by this time, the three bears thought their porridge would be cool enough, and so they came home for breakfast. Goldilocks had left the spoon of the great big bear in his porridge bowl, and he noticed it first thing. "Somebody's been tasting my porridge," said the great big bear in his great big voice. And Goldilocks had left the spoon of the middle-sized bear in her porridge bowl too. "Well, somebody's been tasting my porridge," the middle-sized bear said in her middle-sized voice. And then the wee little bear looked at his porridge. "Well, somebody's been tasting my porridge, and it's been eaten all up," cried the wee little bear in his wee little voice, and the three bears went into the parlor. And Goldilocks had left the cushion crooked in the chair of the great big bear, and he noticed it first thing. "Well, somebody's been sitting in my chair," said the great big bear in his great big voice. And Goldilocks had squashed down the cushion in the chair of the middle-sized bear. "Well, somebody's been sitting in my chair," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. And then the wee little bear looked at his chair. "Well, somebody's been sitting in my chair, and it's broken," cried the wee little bear in his wee little voice. And the three bears went into the bedroom. And Goldilocks had pulled the pillow off of the great big bear's bed, and he noticed it first thing. "Somebody's been laying in my bed," said the great big bear. And Goldilocks had pulled the blanket off the middle-sized bear's bed. "Well, somebody's been laying in my bed," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. And then the wee little bear looked at his bed. Well, somebody's been laying in my bed. And here she is. And this apparently woke Goldilocks up. And there they were, all three bears staring at her. And Goldilocks was so scared that she jumped out of bed and tumbled out of the open window, and off she ran. She ran away so fast that she never looked back behind her. Nobody knows what happened to Goldilocks after that, and the three bears never saw her again. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story. Stay happy, stay healthy, and make good choices. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.